I've been using Cubelets for over 7 years and they're awesome, but they're expensive. Sometimes they stop working. So I did everything within my power to try and get them to work again. And here's what I found out. If you haven't already, you need to get this Cubelets app, the orange one from the App Store, and install it on your device. It's got to be a tablet or a phone, I think. And you need a Bluetooth Cublet or hat. I attach the hat, connect it to my iPad. In the app, it gives you an option to choose a remote control or personality swap. We're going to choose personality swap, and then you tap on the Cubelet that's playing up. So in this case it's a speaker, and you say reset to default, and what it does is it basically resets it, so it deletes it all and starts again, so it's back to factory settings. And hopefully after a while, after a few seconds, it'll start working again. The speakers are the ones that play it the most for me, and I have to do this quite often, but after doing it, it's like a new one. Yep. There you go. So this is a good option for lights as well. If you have lights that aren't working, or bar graphs, or basically any Cubelet that's playing up, I always try and reset it first to see if that makes a difference. It works really well for lights, bar graphs and speakers, and any Think Cubelet. Usually with Cubelets that you can reset, there'll be a green LED light flashing. But if there's no green LED light, then it's usually dead, and I can't really fix those. This one's got no LEDs flashing, and it doesn't come up when you connect it. So if it doesn't have a flashing LED, it's probably got a disconnected wire or something in there, and it's pretty hard to fix. These aren't spinning very well, so I just give them a quick little bit of a squirt with some WD-40 or something similar. Just a tiny bit, just a little bit. And then with some paper towel, I give it a good wipe. And they come up pretty good. Yeah, it's working pretty good now. This spinner or rotator is going at different speeds because it's using a light sensor, different amounts of light going into the light sensor, so it operates at different speeds, but generally it worked really well. So I had a light that didn't work on one side, it'd work on 3 sides and not the other one, and I just thought maybe I could just clean it. Maybe I should get out some methylated spirits and give it a bit of a clean on that dodgy side. So I carefully poured a little bit into the lid, got a cotton bud, and then I dabbed it into the methylated spirits, and I tried to scrub the dirty parts, all the connection points on that side that just didn't work. And I thought, you beauty, it's a lot cleaner now, and I've done a pretty good job. Hopefully this works. So I put it back together and didn't work. So methylated spirits, that's not the solution. And some of these connection points are just magnets, and some of them actually transfer power and some transfer data, and I actually don't know which is which, but if you know, tell me in the comments. But I'm thinking there must be another solution to this. And I thought I might just give them a bit of a upgrade with some paint which conducts electricity. I found some paint on eBay that you can buy. It's a bit like nail polish, and it comes in a little container like this. It's from China, so I have no idea how dodgy it is, but I just decided that this particular Cubelet, for example, it worked on most sides, but then on one side of the Cubelet it didn't work very well, so I thought I'd use some of this paint on the side that wasn't working, hoping that it might refresh the connection points. So I got it out and I carefully painted all the parts, even the parts I know that it's magnets. So these parts I believe are just the magnets, and the parts where the magnets connect to. And I even painted inside the inner layer of connection points. If you know what each point does, it'd be great if you could tell me in the comments, because I'm still not clear about where the data goes through and where the power goes through. Anyway, I let that dry for a few minutes and then I tested it out by just putting it back on the side that didn't work, and it didn't make any difference whatsoever. So that was a bit of a fizzer. It's expensive, that paint. I wouldn't bother about it for Cubelets. So I didn't really come up with a solution for Cubelets to have one side that doesn't work properly, unless you just colour it somehow with some paint and tell kids this side doesn't work but the rest of it's fine. Or I thought maybe if you had two that were dodgy, maybe you could split them in half by pulling them apart and then put the two good halves together. You might end up with one good Cubelet. I have a few batteries that just have one faulty side, so I put a sticker on all the sides that were faulty, and what I found out was when I joined them all together that all the batteries had the same side that was faulty, so pulling them apart and joining up two good halves isn't really an option. Quite a common thing that goes wrong with the drive Cubelets or the wheels is that they just stop working, and it's usually because they're dirty. They've been driven on carpet or they've got dust and dirt and hairs inside them, so you just need to pull them apart by undoing the two screws. Every Cubelet's got two screws that basically holds it together, and after you've got rid of those two screws you should be able to pull the Cubelet apart. It's pretty tricky. You've got to get your fingernails in there and divide it in half by pulling slightly on each edge. Just do a little bit at a time rather than try and do it all at once, and eventually it comes apart. And when it comes apart I usually just blow in it to get some dust out, and then I pull this big cog out. So you need to wiggle this big cog a little bit and eventually that will come out. And I always flip it over. When I'm reassembling it I'll flip it back the other way because sometimes that makes a difference. And you'll notice that inside the cogs there's a lot of dirt often, so what I do is I try and remove any of it manually that I can with my fingers, but then I'll get out my smallest little screwdriver. I tried first with the Phillips head, that didn't work too good. End up getting my flat head screwdriver out, and I tried to dig out all the dirt and gunk from in between the tiny cogs inside the drive Cubelet. So if you dig around enough and if you're patient enough and your eyesight's good enough, the big screwdriver is a bit clumsy and a bit awkward, but the smaller screwdriver does the job. So you just dig around in there and you try and get all the little bits of dirt out so it looks nice and clean. I got quite a lot out of this one, and after doing so you'll find that it actually works a heap better. The next part is to put the cog back in, and it only goes one way, so you might need to rotate it, and you can test it by just wheeling it with your fingers. It's looking good at this stage, and then you just pop the Cubelet back together, put the two screws back in where you got them from, and Bob should be your uncle. I don't know about you, but I go through quite a few batteries, and sometimes in particular when you plug them in they don't charge properly. So this one's charging properly, as you can see the orange charging light comes on, but this one when you plug it in it just flashes a little bit orange and doesn't work. And I had a few Cubelets that weren't charging properly, or I'd charge them and they weren't working, and I decided I'd pull apart a battery and have a look inside. And what I noticed inside every single battery Cubelet is that there is a small battery that you can see that is suspended kind of diagonally across the battery Cubelet, and then when you take that out there are three wires that connect it to a little motherboard. Now often one of those wires has become unattached to the board, so the idea is to try and reconnect that small wire. In this case it's the red one, could be any one, but if all three of them are connected then it works better. So I trimmed the little wire very carefully with a pair of scissors so that I could strip it back a bit so there's a bit of wire exposed, and then I placed it on the table, and I had this special magnifying glass I bought because my eyesight isn't very good. You might not need that, but it's pretty tricky to line it up. You've got to line it up exactly. Now I experimented with this and I tried adding more solder to the cubelet, and that ended up destroying the cubelet. So I wouldn't add more solder. I just use the solder that's already in there, and I've got a little gas soldering iron, and I use that. I lined it all up. It took a little bit of effort to line it all up, and I'm not sure if this magnifying glass is going to show the whole story, but you line up the wire exactly where it's supposed to go in one of those 3 spots, and then you grab the soldering iron, and then I just pushed down heavily for a few seconds while it was really hot, and it actually worked. So I've connected a few this way. Make sure all 3 wires are connected by connecting the one that's not, and then let it cool down a bit, and you'll see that now it's connected, which hopefully will make it work. So very carefully I put the battery back into its position, and then reassembled it by putting the 2 screws in, and we're going to give it a test in a sec. So put the screws in. I'm pretty fast here, aren't I? But yeah, spread it up for your convenience. And then we're going to test it out. When I test it out, it turned on. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. And then we'll see if it charges. Take it over to the wall. This is in real time. I spread it up a little bit because I wanted to show you that there was no cuts. This is all legit. When I plugged it in, it works. Awesome. I fixed the battery. Woohoo! If you like this video, please tell me your favorite tip in the comments, and also check this other video out.